if we stop, if we had stopped intermittently. But if there were any questions, we can continue with this, with the questions first, if at all they are there. If not, we can move forward. So let me just quickly revise first. So we were talking of what were the different causes of variation. And variation, we know there are different differences within the individual, which are morphological, physiological, cytological, or behavior, right? Any of these variation can be either herited across the generation, which are called genetic or germinal variations, and some of them they cannot be transmitted across the generation, which is somatic or somatogenic variation or non-heritable variation. So these were the two types of variation. Now there were some variations which were continuous, that means they happen throughout across different generation. So one generation will have certain different characteristic, next generation will have another characteristic. So that was continuous variation. On the contrary, there were some discontinuous variation. That means one particular type of variation was not carried to the next generation due to certain changes. So that is what is discontinuous variation. That means variation is happening, but it is not continued. So that is what is discontinuous. And there were three main reasons for this discontinuous variation. That is gene mutation, chromosomal aberrations, and genomic mutations. So we had looked at what is gene mutation means. So any changes in one particular nucleotide base pair or a segment of DNA within the particular gene, that is called as mutation, and it is usually referred to as intragenic mutation because it is within one particular gene. Intra means self, right? Within itself. So within the gene itself, one particular gene, if there is a mutation, that is gene mutation. And the example we had seen was the single nitrogenous base change in the beta chain of hemoglobin. So hemoglobin has 4 different chains. One of them was beta chain. And if that is mutated, one nucleotide in that chain is mutated, it leads to sickle cell anemia. Now one thing that we had not discussed about is specificity of the mutation, which will come later, but this is not so random mutation. We will talk about that. And then other characteristics which do develop due to gene mutation is lethal genes. That means they can cause death. Or other examples are albino character and chlorophyll deficiency. And the muton was that smallest portion of the gene which can change or mutate, and it is usually the smallest one is the single nitrogenous base. So these were the points we had seen. Then in causes of mutation, causes of gene mutation, there were two types. One was frame shift mutation, or what is also called as substitution mutation. In frame shift, there is either addition or deletion, because this is what I had explained on the board. I guess I have added a diagram also here. These things we have to be very clear, because this we will need again in the next chapter, that is DNA or the molecular in genetics, right? So that way, if you see this particular diagram, there is certain sequence of nucleotides which are coding for particular amino acids. Now, due to the addition of one particular nucleotide base, which is shown here in red, what happens is whole of the gene sequence changes. So instead of tryptophan amino acid, it becomes serine. Instead of leucine, it becomes alanine, and so on. So these are the different coded amino acid terminology that also we will see. This is tyrosine, tryptophan, leucine, valine, histidine. Again, so that way we will see all those things. But what you need to know is, due to the addition of one nucleotide, it can lead to the change in the frame or the codon sequence. That is what is frame shift mutation due to addition. Now, here is another example of frame shift mutation. Now, there were these two genes, which is shown here as 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. That means this is a triplicate, one codon. This is another triplicate, another codon. So that way they have shown. And when these two genes, they are matching with each other, the whole of the protein sequence or whole of the gene sequence can lead to the functional protein. Now, if you look here in the second one, right? Now, this is 2 to 0. So that means from 2, it joins with the 0. That is what is shown here, 2 to 0. So you can see T is joining to C. Now, 0 to 1. That means it is the sequence is complete till here T and then CT. Now that frame shift is happening, sorry, here from G, that is from this 0, AT is removed. That is the deletion type of frame shift mutation. AT is removed and then it joins with CT. So instead of GAT, it becomes GCT. So you can see, okay, even the C is removed, 0 to 1 they are talking. 0 to 1, my bad. So from this G, they directly go to TG. So it is GTG. So that way, one whole codon or one triplicate of the nucleotide is being missed. And that is what is this again leads to frame shift mutation. Because this nucleotide sequence will code for something else. Similarly, shifting of 1 to 2. So that will be this A to 2, that is G. So then it will become AGA, correct. So this will be the codon, but yeah. So if you look in triplicate, it will be GA, and instead of T, it will be next G. So that way, it is just where it is the deletion happening. Depending on that, like the protein which is being formed will change as well. So these are the addition and deletion type of frame shift mutation. If you feel this is too complicated, you can simply look at this one and you can say like you have added one here. Instead, if you remove one from this one, let's say you remove this middle G, yeah, the whole of the shift codon frame will shift forward, and that is what is deletion type of frame shift mutation. Okay, any question here? Though we had seen this last class also, but I just wanted to emphasize more in both of these specific type, addition and deletion. Okay, so then that was addition and deletion. Now, in case of substitution, right? Substitution is what we had seen here. So one particular amino acid is getting changed. So here in this case, substitution, you can see this was the normal one. C is getting changed to T. So obviously its counterpart is also going to change. So C was paired with G, T will be paired with A, and the rest everything remains same. But because of this one change, it leads to the change in the amino acid, and it might lead to the change in the protein structure. So that is what is substitution type of mutation. So these were the two types, that is frame shift, which is changes in the number of nucleotides in the DNA segment, or replacement of a base pair with another nucleotide, can be purine or can be pyrimidine, and that is what is substitution. And substitution had two types that we had seen, that is transition and transversion. Transition was purine will replace with another purine, pyrimidine will replace with another pyrimidine. That is transition. That is from one purine, it is transitioning into the another purine. While transversion was purine to pyrimidine change or pyrimidine to purine change. And this is what we had seen here. So if it is purine to purine change, that means from adenine to guanine it will change, or from guanine to adenine it will change in the sequence. And obviously the counterpart will also change respectively in the opposite strand of DNA. That is what is being shown here. This is one strand and the opposite strand. Now in this case, they have shown mRNA, but obviously it will be the opposite strand in the DNA structure. And the second one, that was the transversion. That means from these purines, instead of adenine, it can be thymine or cytosine in the DNA, or it can be cytosine and uracil, because you know DNA has thymine, RNA has uracil. So that way, this replacement from purine to pyrimidine can happen, or Instead of thymine, it can be adenine or guanine. That is pyrimidine to purine replacement. So that is transition and transversion. Again, I hope you people are able to understand all these different types. It is not difficult to remember it. You just have to remember what are the different possibilities. So there are different possibilities. One is addition of nucleotide, that is addition, frame shift mutation. Second one is deletion of single nucleotide, that is deletion type of frame shift mutation. Third one is transition type of substitution mutation. That is from purine, it will change to pyrimidine, or from pyrimidine, it will change to purine. That is transition type of substitution. And the fourth one, that is transversion, that is purine changing to pyrimidine or pyrimidine changing to purine, that is transversion type of substitution. So frame shift and substitution, and individually they have two subtypes. So, and most of these cases, what we have spoke of is the point mutation. That means a change in single nucleotide, right? Everywhere, if you see here, we have replaced only one single nucleotide in substitution, or when we spoke of these ones, we have only changed one nucleotide, either addition or even removal from this. That is what is single point mutation or point mutation in simplistic language. Now, there is something called as gross mutation as well. Point mutation is single nucleotide change. Gross mutation is change in more than one nucleotide. That is how much of the segment of DNA, whether 2 nucleotide, 10 nucleotide, 20 nucleotide, what is being changed. That is what is called as gross mutation. In nature, more of it is point mutation because it is easier to happen in terms of single change. Gross mutation, these are process related problems, and that way it can also cause change in more than one nucleotide. That is what is gross mutation.
So for gross mutation, is it like all of those which are being changed are together, or like anywhere, few here, few there?
It can be anywhere and it can be at many places. So for example, let's say we have this particular gene sequence. Let's say whole of this TGG is gone. That is what, or changed, I mean, yeah, that is what is gross mutation. Or let's say these 6 are mutated, right? That's what will be gross mutation. Or even whole of this last part is mutated, that is still a gross mutation. Or in other scenario, like you're saying, this second codon is mutated and this CAT codon is mutated, that is the last one. So instead of these 2 amino acid, there will be something else. So these are all gross mutation. If it is a single nucleotide, whether here also it's single change and here also it's single change, these will be still called as individually point mutation. Gross mutation is more than one nucleotide, can happen at one place, can happen at 2 places, or so on. So that is gross mutation. And there is something called as copy error mutations. Now, copy error is simply like if you are copying somewhere from the textbook or so, like you are making notes and you make a mistake, right? That is what is copy error type of mutation. Now, in case of genetic sequence or genetic mutations, what is happening is DNA is replicated. That means a double copy is made. Now, during that making of the copy, if there is certain change that is happening, again, it can be point mutation or can be gross mutation. But during the copying, if that copying is DNA replication process, if there is any error happening, it is called as copy error mutation, right? And it can again happen in the transcription process, that is from DNA to mRNA. That is what is being shown here. While mRNA is synthesized, it copies the information in the DNA in the form of RNA, and that if it makes certain changes in itself while copying it. So instead of, let's say, this was the original sequence and this was the normal mRNA sequence. Now, instead of C, here ideally it should come as G. But let's say here something else comes. Instead of G, it can come like C, A, T, or whatsoever. right? Any other purine or pyrimidine. That will be called as copy error mutation, because mRNA is not taking the same information which is there from the DNA, but it is making some error while copying the information. So that is copy error mutation during transcription or even during DNA replication. It can happen. So these are the different types of gene mutation. Now, any question here? Okay, so okay, so now we will just look at this particular part, and then I guess we will stop here for today. So that is gene mutations. They can be again of what is happening due to that particular gene mutation. That is, these are what three types: nonsense, missense, and same sense. Now this nonsense is literally nonsense. That means, for example, a product, this nonsense mutation, they will produce a nonsense or terminator codon. Like yesterday we were discussing, at start of every gene, it has ATG sequence. That is, every protein will always start with this ATG sequence that is coding for methionine. So if that is the starting sequence, there has to be something which is called as stop codon. This is start codon ATG, and there will be stop codon. For example, let me just okay, no, let me finish this first, then I'll go to board, because this is very, very important to explain. So if the stop codons are being produced due to the mutation, that will be called as nonsense mutation. So therefore, protein synthesis is interrupted. Let's say there is a gene sequence, and at the middle portion, there is certain mutation, right? Due to that mutation, stop codon is produced in the middle. So while the protein synthesis was happening, it will start at the start codon and it will stop in the middle where the stop codon is. And that is what is called as interrupted protein synthesis. And then that gene or protein becomes non-functional, or it can even become recessive. That means it will not be functional or expressed anymore. And these codon are three specific type, that is ACT, ATT, and ATC. So that is either ACT, ATC, or ATT. Now, what exactly happens, that I will tell you on the board. Where is spotlight? Where is the cloth? Okay, so for example, what we have is A, T, G, which is a start codon. I hope we are able to see. Yes, start codon, and then the gene sequence starts. And again, I am not drawing the whole of the sequence, but at the end there will be something called as stop codon. Stop codon. So this whole base pair length is one gene, and this stop codon can be either A, C, T, or it can be A, T, C, or it can be A, T, T. Either of these three will be recognized by that ribosomal machinery, and it will stop the protein sequence. So this whole thing is one gene, right? Now what happens is, let's say at the center there is a sequence which is now I am drawing this as 333 3. Okay, so there is a sequence which is leading to A, G, T. If this is the sequence, right? Now, due to certain mutation, this G will change into again A, T, G. It will change to A, C, T. So this particular middle letter is changing, which is like a stop codon, and then there will be A, C, T, or any of these stop codons there. Now what will happen is, due to this recognition of the stop codon, instead of forming whole protein, what will happen is only this much amount of protein will be formed, whatever that number of base pair is, and that way it will lead to non-functional protein. So this is what is happening in this case. It can be any other one. ATP, it could be ATT. If G is replaced by T, it will form ATT. Or if both of these will change and they will form TT, so it will be again ATT, right? So that way, any of these stop codon, either of these three, if they are coming in between, that will stop the protein synthesis, or there is chance that this full protein will also be developed, and this half protein or whatever less number of amino acid in that protein, that will also be developed. So this way, this is what is called as nonsense mutation, because this protein which was originally like this, which was making complete sense, now it has become nonsense because it doesn't have any use as such. Yeah, so that is what is nonsense mutation, leading to the stop codon somewhere in between. It can be immediately here itself, can be here, can be anywhere. Yeah, that is what is nonsense mutation.
Sir,
Yes.
what if it becomes a start codon?
If it becomes a start codon, so you are saying instead of this, let's say I will rub this part and we will write it separate. Yeah. So what you are referring to is, if the sequence of A G, yeah, and it becomes like A T G. So there is mutation of this to this. Yeah, A to T. Correct? So that is what you are referring to, right? Start codon.
Yeah.
It will not matter, because usually before the start codon, there is a certain sequence which is recognized by every ribosome. And those ribosome, they will recognize the first ATG, and then they will start the protein synthesis. Now, even if there is ATG in the middle, that will not happen, because this sequence is recognized by the ribosome. They recognize, okay, this is the first ATG and not the second one. So they will start protein synthesis from there, right? So the genetics within the body, they are brilliantly designed for that. To recognize this sequence, they have to be there. But in some cases, what happens is that this ATG can also be recognized, and this protein, this much amount of protein can also be formed. And that will also lead to some sort of protein synthesis. But due to the dominant and recessive phenotype, this will always be dominant. Full protein will be more dominant than the small one, if at all it is formed. Yeah, but that is like a very rare phenomenon. It always needs to have this recognition sequence. Now, let's say by chance, this particular sequence is just present here randomly by chance. Yeah, then this will also be formed in equal amount like the full protein, and that will, it will still have a very little effect, but then it depends on the functionality of the protein, right? Whether this protein, which is smaller version, is it functional or not functional, that depends on what are the different domains present in the protein. Okay, so this part is clear to everyone, right? I hope, if you have any question, please ask.
So do start and stop codons also code for some amino acid?
Yes, always. So maybe 1 minute I'll show you that particular chart, and I will share that particular chart also with you people, so that you know what we are talking about. Here, let's say amino acid codes. Let's say, for example, this one. Open in new tab. Ayo, this is too small. Okay, so you can see this, right? Now, this is what is stop codon in the RNA. Now, U in RNA is T. Actually, I shouldn't be taking this then. Let me see this one. This is again U. This is, okay, I don't know. Yeah, I guess this has T, correct. So let's use this one. Because U refers to that uracil is present, that means it is from the RNA. And we are currently talking of DNA, so let's not complicate that thing. So let's say TAA, TAG, these are the stop codons, you can see it here, right? It depends on which strand are we talking about, yeah? So that way it will be dependent, because these will be complementary sequence to ATT, this will be complementary sequence to ATC, yeah? That is what we have written on the board, okay? So do not get confused there, that which is the stop codon exactly. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. So these three, if you see TGA, TAA, and TAG, these three are the stop codons, and they code for one particular amino acid, which is like no, sorry, stop codon does not lead to the amino acid, but the start codon, where is ATG? Yeah, here ATG will always code for methionine. So that is the way it works. My bad, I was saying this also codes for the amino acid, but this does not. Like these three sequences, they don't. Okay, and this is the chart, which are the possible combinations. Now if you yesterday I was speaking of one more thing, where the last base pair change, like if you look at here, CTT, CTC, CTA, CTG, that means last letter can be ATGC, right? And all of them, they will always code for leucine, which is one of the amino acid. Now in the mutation, let's say from T it changes to any other amino acid, any other nucleotide, that will still code for leucine. So this is another type of mutation which we will see. That means it is not leading to the change in amino acid, even though there is single point mutation in the last nucleotide base pair. This is specifically called as Wobble phenomena, that also we will see later. So that is how it functions. So that was the first type, which is called as nonsense mutation. And that is what I had shown you. The actual sequences will be T, G, A, T, A. Now I'm reading it, the complementary versions of this. And here it will be T, A, G. That is what is UAG or TAG. Here it will be TAA or UAA, depending on DNA or RNA. And here it will be TGA or UGA. Now the second type of this mutation is missense. That means one or more of the codons for a particular protein or polypeptide undergo change. And due to this, a specific amino acids are different in polypeptide change. And such a new polypeptide may form a modified or non-functional protein, changing the phenotype. And that is what is an example of sickle cell hemoglobin, which is a missense mutation. Now, again, one point I must show you here is sickle cell hemoglobin mutation. No, not this one. Sickle cell hemoglobin mutation. Yeah. Here it should be shown. Yeah. Let me open this diagram. Yeah. So if you see here, this is the normal sequence of DNA, right? And this is what it leads to in terms of amino acid sequence. And I guess this is the one which is mutated, and you can see normal, mutant. A single single nucleotide change will lead to the amino acid change. So from glutamic acid, it becomes valine, and this is what you get from normal blood cell to sickle cell blood cells. That is because of the hemoglobin structure. This gene sequence is coding for the hemoglobin, and because of a single point mutation into its gene sequence, there is amino acid change from glutamic acid to valine, and that is what is leading to the sickle cell anemia as a disorder, and that is a type of missense mutation. That means something which is leading to modified or non-functional protein, and which is ultimately causing a disease or disorder. Need not always it should cause a disease or disorder, but it will lead to certain change in function. One more point I must mention here is, now the reason why it is causing sickle cell anemia would be, that is again a sure shot thing. This amino acid would be very, very important for this protein. And because this amino acid is very important, and if it is changed, obviously it will lead to the change in the function and the structure, and that is why you get a particular disorder. Let's say, for example, this histidine, which is another amino acid, is changed due to some mutation in here. In the second codon that you see on your screen, there is change in this amino acid, and this is not so important protein. Not so important amino acid in that protein. Now, even if it is mutated in this mutant version, the protein might still be functional, because this is not so important amino acid for the function of this particular RBCs, that is for the hemoglobin ultimately. So depends on where that mutation is and what amino acid it is causing, whether that amino acid is very, very important or it is not important. That way it will lead to different types of mutation. Now, so nonsense means that protein is stopped in between, the synthesis of the protein is interrupted. Missense means it leads to change protein or non-functional protein. That is second one. And the third type, like I mentioned to you, that same sense mutation. That means even after change in the codon, it does not lead to the changed amino acid. Rather, the same amino acid is formed, and that is what is called as same sense mutation. So, for example, GCA and GCT both codes for arginine amino acid. So, the last nucleotide A to T, that is changed, but it will still code for arginine, and that is what is what we saw earlier in terms of the mutation. Okay, I don't know how to go back. So what did I show it to you? Yeah, the amino acid chart table. Amino acid chart. Yeah, I can take anyone for the time being. Yeah, this one. So in this, yeah. So if you see where is arginine, if we see arginine ARG, this one, right? AGG. That means from last nucleotide is changed, and even that mutation will lead to same sense mutation. That means even if this change is happening from this nucleotide to this nucleotide, that is A to G, that will still code for arginine. Or in this case, for example, even if there is A to G change, it will still lead to lysine. Or for that matter, there will always be this same sense mutation for most of the amino acid, and that is what is referring to as same sense mutation. Any question here? Anyone? I hope you have understood what is nonsense, missense, and the same sense. Nonsense leads to stop codon, missense leads to non-functional protein, and same sense leads to no change. There is a change in the nucleotide, but there is no change in amino acid. So ultimately, no change in the protein. So that is what are the different gene mutation. Any question here? If not, we will stop here for today. and then in the next class we will talk of the next type of genetic changes, that is chromosomal aberrations. So until now what we were looking at was the first cause of discontinuous variation, that is gene mutation. Next we will talk of chromosomal aberrations.